We can tell them to start off with how to get into university, because obviously courses like medicine are very competitive, as they're well aware. So we can give them one-to-one advice about things like work experience and the extra bits that are needed to kind of get your application above the field.
Right. I think for this careers fair, certainly it's divided into two. So you've got the sort of advice and guidance side for the year 10s that have just come along, and then later on you've got the year 12s who are sort of our main target, if you like, to sort of hopefully encourage them to apply to university. So it kind of ticks both boxes for us. It ticks the advice and guidance side, but also the sort of recruitment side as well, getting the year 12s to sort of think about university, and particularly De Montfort as well.
I feel career fairs are important because it gives prospective students an idea of all the different universities that are available to them, and the courses as well. A lot of them at GCSE level especially, they're not too sure of what they want to do for future career goals and things like that. So this is an opportunity for them to get a deeper understanding, let them know that there is the option of going to university, and it's there for them to go.
It's a great opportunity. I think if the students are prepared well for it, then they know the right questions to ask and they can get the right information that they need to make a decision. I think careers fairs are particularly good because it gives them a whole range of individuals to talk to from many different backgrounds, and get some of their kind of stories and the information that they needed at the time, but also they can use that to make their own decisions as well, if that makes sense.
Basically, this is the deciding moment. When they complete their GCSEs, this is the time when they have to decide which universities they want to go, what course they want to do, and what careers they want to choose. So basically, career events are very important for the GCSE students and for A-levels as well.
I think they're very important. I didn't get to go to any of these type of fairs when I was looking, when I was at GCSE level or A-level. And I think they're very important because it just gives you an idea of what you need to do, even at GCSE level, like what grade you need to get onto certain courses. So at our university, we do need GCSE A to C in certain subjects for certain courses, and obviously a lot of people don't work as hard as they can at GCSE level, but if you know that it's going to mess up your future, I think more children would be wanting to work harder if they knew about the future.
It's really important for students to start thinking about their future. So I've spoken to a lot of students from year 10 today, where they need to really start thinking about what it is they want to do, whether they'd like to go to university or to start a career. And then this evening I'm going to be speaking to a lot of year 12 and year 13 students who will be very much at the decision-making stage of the process.
Careers fairs are important because they give us a great opportunity to meet students, to meet teachers, to meet parents, and get a really, really good sense of where people are, what they're interested in, and how we can help them by giving more information.
I think these are a fantastic opportunity for students of years 10, 11 and 12 to come and see what their options are in university and other careers as well, as apprentices, etc.
I think they're important for students who are unsure about what they want to go into, so they have the opportunity to visit different universities and see what the options are available to them. They can also find out directly from the people there what the entry requirements are as well, so they know what to work towards.
Today we have our undergraduate prospectuses, which has a list of all the different courses that we do. Inside it tells you all the entry requirements required and a little bit about the course, the overview and the modules that you undertake in each year. Also we have leaflets on student finance, fees and financial support, and giveaways like pens and badges.
Well, today we've got inquiry forms. I've not brought prospectuses with me because I understand that students are going to have a lot to carry, and I've been attending a lot of UCAS fairs over the past weeks, and they all have arms full of books and prospectuses. So what we do is they fill out one of these and we send a prospectus to the home address to save them carrying the stuff around and adding an extra book to the load.
Today we're giving the mini guides away, so they've got information about the university, the type of university that we are, because we are a campus university, which is quite different from a lot of universities in London. We're given information about the UCAS tariff entry points that you need, and I've given a lot of advice to the students who don't understand how the UCAS points transfer from A levels, so I've told them how to transfer it. and just basic information on if they've had questions and they don't know what course they want to do. I've sort of asked them what interests they have and sort of pointed them in the right direction.
I was giving out prospectuses as well as open day postcards, and we have forms available that they can fill in to get information about their particular subject interest. So I have that. I'm also doing a talk later on student life.
Really?
So what we'd be looking to give this evening would be information about our courses, how our courses work, what our entry requirements are, and try to see if we can listen to students, find out where they are, and see whether we can match up their aspirations with what we're able to offer.
Today I've got information about Oxford University as a whole, but I've also got information about my college at Mansfield, so there's information about student life, open days, all sorts of the courses that we offer and the requirements that we need for people to apply to them.
Mainly technology courses. So we've got computer clubs for girls course that we run at about 500 schools trying to get girls into IT. We've got online careers websites trying to inspire young people into technology careers. And then we've got apprenticeships ranging from 16 plus to 18. We do advanced IT apprenticeships, higher apprenticeships. And we also run a degree program called IT Management for Business, which we run at 14 universities across the UK, which was set up by employers to try and bridge the skills gaps of IT and business graduates. So we develop our own courses with employers.
So Big Ambition is our online careers portal for all technology and digital jobs. On there we've got lots of different role model profiles of people who work in different companies. We've got profiles of lots of different companies, technology companies and non-technology companies, as well as some tools and resources and games that students can use to see if a technology career would be for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think from their point of view, certainly you're getting them to think about university, about sort of their future career path and what they need to do. I mean, I've been talking to a lot of students about their GCSEs and how it's so important that they make sure they get those 5 A star to C grades in their GCSEs to then give themselves the option of applying to university in the future. So I think it gives them a bit of a kickstart and firstly sort of makes them realise that their sort of future is sort of coming sooner than they may expect, and secondly gives them the information that they need to sort of think about university in the future.
Okay, we can give them the advice that they need to start looking early about their work experience and look at the GCSEs because they are important. You can't just kind of think it's all on the 3 A's at A level. We do look at your GCSEs as well, so they are critical for getting an interview. And obviously because it's so competitive, we have 800 interviews every year for 150 places, so you need to be on the ball.
Basically, they have to decide at this time what they want to achieve, what career they want to choose. So either they're doing history or even if they're doing business studies, this is time, because in A levels it's just the advanced studies of the courses you were doing in GCSEs. So in GCSEs, if you're doing history, I would recommend that don't start doing business in A levels after doing history in GCSE. So I'll recommend that decide now in your GCSEs and progress with the same subjects.
For students in their GCSE years, it's really important that they come along to events like this because they can look at what they might need to study at A level. For certain courses you need specific things at A level, and what grades they might need to get, so particularly how hard they need to work and if their aspirations are if they're going to be attainable. And for students in sixth form, it's really important to come along to these events and look at all the options that are available to them, because there's so many different things that people can do and people don't always know exactly what's available to them.
Yeah, definitely. I've had lots of year 10s come up to me today asking me about Oxford and whether they'd be able to apply and what kind of grades they need to make an application. So I definitely think that if we can give that kind of information and inspire them to achieve that, then it's definitely important.
Okay, for me, he will tell you something different, but I came straight from school. So yes, I did secondary school and then sixth form, and then I went straight into uni, no gap year, no nothing. And for me that worked. For some people, they find that they need a gap year just to relax their mind and prepare them for the next step. I knew what I wanted to do straight away, so I went for it.
I'm the opposite. I actually did arts in my school years. So I actually went off to Cardiff and did a year and a half of architecture. I then got fed up with that one went to Camberwell to do photography for 3 years. I then qualified from photography and became a clinical photographer, working in the NHS for 3 years, where I earned a postgraduate certificate in clinical photography. I then applied to medicine via our graduate entry course, which is an accelerated 4-year course rather than the traditional 5-year, which is where I've ended up today.
I went to university from an access background, so I studied sports therapy, and then I was president of my student union for a year, which I was elected to do, and it was like a paid full-time role. And then from there, I decided that higher education was my route because I really enjoyed it. And yeah, from there I went into student tracking and then into GSM London.
Basically I'm from Nottingham. I came down to London to study because I wanted to move away from home, but I didn't want to be completely on my own, and my brother and my boyfriend lived in London, so it seemed a good idea to come to London, and there's just a lot of opportunities in London, so that's why I ended up in London and at University of Roehampton.
Yeah, sure. I was actually born in Crystal Palace, so I spent the first 4 years of my life there. I went to school in Sheffield, and I then went to university to do study chemistry. What I'm doing now isn't related to chemistry at all. But when I was a student at university, I was a student ambassador, which is basically doing what my colleague here is doing today, where I helped at a range of open days, recruitment events. I also worked with the outreach team, so I worked a lot with school children, college students, and that encouraged me to get into a career in higher education outreach and recruitment.
Well, the Careers Fair has been very insightful because it's provided a kind of forum where people from all different universities and businesses can come in and give us some more information, which is always useful when we're kind of in this limbo phase between sixth form and higher education. So it's been really useful.
There's such a variety of exhibitions going on. There's loads of different career paths like investment banking, lawyers, and there's also loads of universities, which I think is so helpful in all the prospectuses.
We've seen a lot, haven't we, Dave? Yeah, there's like unis here, and there's colleges and exhibitions. There's lots of stuff here. And loads of employers too, trying to provide us with kind of the information we need to understand whether we want to go into these kind of industries. Yeah. So it's been really informative, really helpful, and as you can see, loads of people around trying to find out their next step.
Well, it's important. I'm a head of sixth form at Harris Merton, and this is their first taste of what it could be like after they leave us. So they're getting a flavour of it tonight. They're looking around at the different courses, subjects to study, and then they're going to obviously research, and it will help us then when we do our higher education programme at school.